This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And good morning to you. It is up to Tuesday now, October the 17th, 2017. I'm Ray Collins. Glad you're up already and watching your local newscast. Let's get to John Scalzi now for details of our Tuesday forecast. Hey, John.
Good morning, Ray. I think we're having a kind of a transition day today, I guess we could call it. We have a cold front that's sinking southward. It's basically going to stall out right over central Florida. It'll produce a little extra cloud cover that's clearly visible on the satellite view here, the cloud cover around this morning. That could knock off a few degrees from our daytime high, the extra cloud cover. But as far as any kind of colder air from this cold front, you're probably not going to see a whole lot of that. But there will be a few showers around. Right now we're getting some pretty good rainfall through parts of Hillsborough County and parts of Pinellas County as well. And that whole front gradually sinking southward will enhance our rainfall chance today to about 30 to 40%. And we'll watch that occur, particularly during the second half of the day. But even so, I think there's a chance at a smattering of showers across the region this morning. It won't be a big chance, but 30%, we'll take what we can get at this time of year. The good news is that down the road, we might get some lower humidity air, and we'll talk about that coming up in a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic in Manatee County. The only blip we see there is way at the top of your screen there, north of Memphis. Not in Tennessee either. This is Manatee County. Otherwise, pretty clear in Manatee County. Farther south, you'll see something there along the Bayfront as you pass by the Ringling Causeway, also Clark Road, in the eastbound lane around Beneva. And now farther south, the one little thing there northbound as you head from Nokomis toward 681. 5:02 now on your Tuesday morning. Our top story: plans to build houses and parks on the golf course at the Meadows. It's a big story. Our Rick Adams has details.
Golf swings at the Meadows Country Club could soon be paving the way for many more housing units. That's something that doesn't sit too well with Pamela Campbell. She has lived in her piece of paradise right next to the Meadows Country Club for 19 years.
It's extremely upsetting because I feel that the changes that may come about in the Meadows will directly affect the values of our homes.
Campbell says some of her big concerns include having many new homes built on the golf course, changing her beautiful views, and a new main road constructed near her home.
A street going to new condos that will be placed 20 feet from my house. I'm certainly not happy about that.
The Meadows Community Association says dwindling memberships has caused some financial difficulties for the country club. It's a club that features 3 18-hole golf courses, and the golf club is separate from the housing community at the Meadows. The plan is to develop at least half of the golf course, or 27 holes, into housing, park space, and walking trails.
They're at the heart of our community. They're spread throughout, and they're very, very important to us. So we're working closely with them now to try to resolve the issues they're facing.
On Monday night, the association held an informational meeting going through the pros and cons of the proposed development and hearing input from the large number of residents who were on hand. A meeting last Thursday drew a standing room only crowd and the same variety of reaction to the plans. Claire Coyle and other board members are in support of this as long as it's on terms they agree with.
It's green, nice, open feeling everywhere. We don't want to lose that as we revitalize. We're calling what we're doing the Renaissance of the Meadows, and we want it to be done gently and in a thoughtful, artistic way.
The Meadows currently features 3,500 housing units and around 5,000 residents. Coyle tells us a deal could be struck and the process to get the development started could happen as early as the middle of next year. Reporting from Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
If you drive in Manatee County, you probably have a few ideas about traffic there. Transportation officials are focusing on 13 square miles in Palmetto, Bradenton, and portions of unincorporated Manatee County. Palmetto's mayor believes a way needs to be found to alleviate congestion.
Unless that's done, it continues to be a conundrum, and yet again we have to deal with those issues of congestion.
FDOT is working with regional partners to get input from the public. Construction is now underway on a spring training complex for the Atlanta Braves in Northport. Dozens gathered on the West Villages property for the ceremonial groundbreaking yesterday. Construction on the $100 million facility is set to finish in time for the 2019 spring training season. Sarasota-based Tandem Construction took over the project from an Atlanta firm on Thursday and will start building while they negotiate a new contract with the team.
We would have been happy with either one, but the switches we think will accelerate this. A lot of the folks who are on that second group have worked here a lot and know this organization and know this community.
I'm a baseball nut, so this is right down my alley.
The Braves have been training in Orlando but wanted to move to the Gulf Coast to be closer to more teams. A local retirement community is charging residents a new fee after Hurricane Irma. Harbor Chase of Sarasota sent a letter to residents charging them a storm surcharge fee of $350. The Clark Road facility says this severe hurricane generated extraordinary costs associated with evacuating, moving, and serving our residents, all of which are above and addition to the care, meals, and services we regularly provide 24/7 to each resident. Harbor Chase says the potential for an additional fee in an extreme case is included in their residency agreement. Florida's two political parties could get hit with some hefty fines. State officials imposed a $110,000 fine against the Republican Party. The party turned in a campaign finance report 11 days late. Democrats could also get hit with a large fine for not turning in a report as well. The chair of the state GOP said it was an oversight that the report was not filed on time, but he says party leaders were not immediately notified, so the fines he thinks should be waived. Back in this area, a suspected armed robber is under arrest after a holdup at a Manatee County Steak and Shake. Deputies charge this woman, Nicole Liscombe of Bradenton, with holding up the restaurant at 44th Avenue East. Witnesses say she came in the restaurant and demanded cash. They say she grabbed one of the employees by the neck and implied she was armed by having a towel wrapped around her hand. She is charged with armed robbery and battery. Sarasota police are trying to find an $8,000 bike stolen from a hotel room on the North Trail. A visually impaired triathlete was in town last weekend for a race and reported it taken from his room at the Quality Inn. This is a picture of a similar bike. It happened last week. If you can help the police find this expensive bike, call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen, 366-TIPS. We're learning more now about the accidental death of a local fire battalion chief. Bill Coker died while on vacation in Georgia in a motorcycle accident. Our Bobeth Yates has the latest.
Well, the flag behind me is at half-mast as Sarasota County Fire deals with the loss of a man who dedicated his life to help others.
What this community has lost is one of the rocks of the stable base of the fire department.
That rock is this man, Battalion Chief Bill Coker. For the last 25 years, he served with the Sarasota Fire Department. Before that, with Manatee County Fire. During that time, Coker has touched many lives and played an integral role in training new recruits.
He impacted everybody. I mean, he was one of those people that was always involved with training of personnel. He was involved with the overall supervision, and then, you know, as a lieutenant, all the people that went through being under his command at that level and then up to battalion chief.
Coker was a lifelong Suncoast resident and is described as someone who would give you the shirt off his back.
Coker was extremely well respected by all of his people. It's tough to even think about, and for all of us in the fire service. Excuse me.
The overwhelming emotion of the loss comes as details surrounding Coker's death are released. According to officials, he was visiting family in South Georgia when he lost control of his motorcycle and passed at the scene.
He died while doing something that was for him a very integral part of his life. Obviously, nobody wants to die young, but if you're going to die young, you're dying doing something that you love. That says something. The entire fire department is really feeling the loss.
Now, a celebration of life is scheduled Sunday, October 22nd at one of the local Shriner temples. Bobeth Yates, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Happening today, Banker's Life will recognize Sarasota residents making a difference in our area through community service. To be eligible, nominees must be over 50, a resident of the greater Sarasota area, and made an impact as a volunteer over the past year. One resident will be honored for their work with senior citizens. They'll be recognized this morning at 10 a.m. at the Goodwill Minnesota retail store, which is at 1704 North Honore Avenue. Also happening today, to honor the first ever Sawfish Day, the South Florida Museum is hosting conservationist Tanya Wiley. At 10 a.m., museum patrons can learn safe angling techniques if they accidentally catch an endangered sawfish. Models of the unique species will be on display. Sawfish remain one of the state's most unique species of fish, and though they are illegal to fish for, they are listed as critically endangered and nearing extinction. Never heard of a sawfish, have you?
I did, actually. There was a time in my early 20s when I was kind of toying with oceanography. And yeah, I would look at some pictures and things. And the sawfish is a really bizarre looking animal.
Looks like a saw?
Yeah, it's got this long snoot. Goodness knows how that evolved. And it has like little saw blades on it. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, maybe they're the construction worker of the sea. You know, they're cutting down the ground. I have no idea.
Thanks for the animation.
Was that good?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. Anyway, fascinating. Should be a good lecture. Should be a good thing. We have across our region today some pleasant weather, I think. We do have a chance at seeing perhaps a few more showers around, but we also have cloud cover that'll hold down our temperatures, which I'm all in favor for. Yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Also ahead, first alert traffic, and our Linda Carson shows us a different side to Venice and Nokomis on the latest edition of A Place We Call Home. And later in the hour, President Trump's claims about former presidents and their handling of fallen soldiers is causing a fierce backlash.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop pad that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
75-degree air temperature with a dew point of 73. That's almost exactly where we were yesterday at this hour. We have some clearer skies in places. We also have a little bit of cloud cover that's streaming by in other locations. So we'll call it a mix of clouds and clear sky this morning. An east-northeast wind coming in at about 6. That easterly component to the wind will strengthen with time, and we'll see a really breezy couple of days, I think, as this frontal boundary sinks southward and stalls out. 74 Wauchula, Arcadia, Myakka, 76 in Parrish, Bradenton at 75, so is Lakewood Ranch and Sarasota. 78 degrees Longboat Key, Venice coming in at 76, so is Inglewood, and Northport comes in at 75. So across the peninsula, we're looking at a kind of an active radar picture compared to what we've seen over the last several days, and it's all because of that frontal boundary sinking southward. Now, you can kind of notice that it's sunk southward over Pinellas County, Hillsborough County, and over the last hour or so, really doesn't seem to be making much of a southward advancement. Now, over the course of the next few hours, it may sink a little further to the south and basically stall over us. It may stall just to our north, may stall just to our south, but in this central part of the state of Florida, this front will put on the brakes. And the long and short of it is, these fronts are not a solid boundary. They're kind of a zone of transition. And so it doesn't really matter if it stalls just to our north or just to our south. The fact of the matter is it's not going to draw down really cold air. And it will enhance our rainfall chances for a couple days. Put the rainfall chance at about 30 or 40% today and for tomorrow. And then as the front kind of breaks apart and high pressure builds in behind it, then we'll start to see some slightly drier, less humid air move in, which will be nice. Right now, not a lot of activity across the area on radar. As I said, that could change a little bit this morning. We could have a shower or two build. Basically, I think later on this afternoon into the evening hours will be our best chance at seeing some rainfall around. The front kind of extends all the way from Gulf waters on up into the mid-Atlantic waters and then kind of wraps up off the New Jersey coastline. The whole system has a lot of dry air back behind it. Most of the country today is very tranquil. This is not a really strong front, so if you're flying out this morning, it should not be an issue. High pressure will be allowed to build in. This frontal boundary will stall out, and we'll enjoy a couple of days of a sun-cloud mix. A few showers around, not a big rain out, but there'll be a few showers around. And then lower humidity just in time for the weekend. I think Thursday, Friday, you'll really notice that lower humidity start to work in. Should be nice. Forecast for boaters today, not too bad, but certainly the wind speeds will be up today. Northeast wind at about 15, building to 20 during the overnight. Seas building 2 to 5 feet during the next 24 hours. And I think the winds could be up all week long. And the temperatures, just about a couple of degrees above the normal for this time of year. Right to you, Ray.
Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic. Pretty quiet right now in Manatee County. Still that buildup way up high there around 41 north of Memphis, an area we rarely talk about. Farther south in the maps, let's check out Sarasota County. Little congestion there on Bee Ridge as you head eastbound from Tuttle toward Beneva. A lot of construction barrels and barriers there. And farther south, now we'll check that and see some issues 41 northbound as you head toward the 681 junction. Welcome back now, 519. Many of you and I consider Nokomis a quiet residential area between Sarasota and Venice. But as Linda Carson shows us, it used to be a thriving commercial district.
Local historian Dorothy Corwick will be the conductor on the Venice Heritage Historic Trolley Tour. You'll learn about the first pioneer settlers, Jesse Knight and his family.
Jesse's original double pen log home would have been north and slightly to the west of where we are now.
Jesse was a lay preacher and at first held services in his home.
Then he built an open-sided thatch roof place that he gave services in. Then he built a very small little building that he held services in. Then eventually he built a larger one that actually had a bell tower and stained glass windows.
The church was destroyed in 1926 by a hurricane. A new church was built in 1927, and this church was completed in 1979. This was a thriving area. It was first officially named Venice, and the Venice Post Office and the Venice Depot were here. It had everything.
The first church, the first school, the first cemetery, the first hotel, the first movie theater.
The little city was built around a main street that ran through the heart of town.
It started to change when the original 9-foot road from Sarasota to Venice was widened to form the Tamiami Trail. It was then a 2-lane road with parking on either side and commercial buildings on either side that people frequented, including a grocery store, a hardware store.
But as the Tamiami Trail was widened, it cut the town in half. Then Mrs. Bertha Palmer got the Venice Post Office and Depot moved south, nearer to her, and kept the Venice name.
The residents of the former, or the old Venice, had to select a new name for their post office and their railroad depot, and eventually they decided on Nokomis.
The name comes from the Longfellow poem, Song of Hiawatha. Nokomis was the grandmother. The tour will take you by historic buildings.
You'll see the Trail Inn, which has been modified slightly, but it's still there. You'll see the original Venice Nokomis Bank building that now houses a restaurant.
And the Jesse Knight Memorial Cemetery. And these are the graves of the original settlers, Jesse and his wife Carolyn Knight. Much of our history is lost, but very much remains with us. You can see it for yourself on the Nokomis Trolley Tour on October 28th. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Interesting history. Thank you, Linda. Still ahead, Netflix out with a knockout earnings report, and the company says it plans to use its spending on original content next year. We'll tell you just how much they've made. And at 5:30, the latest comments by the president on Puerto Rican relief efforts. It is 5:22, and you're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs. And you learned how to not ignore yours. I discovered how to make healthier meals, and I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
There's a pretty shot of the Ringling Causeway as one car, two cars, do this all day, heads over the arc to head toward St. Armand's Circle. Got to jump on waiting in line for shopping out there. At least they get parking spots at this time of day. Otherwise, you might be out of luck. Don't forget our app. You can get up-to-date information, all our news and traffic and weather. Go to the App Store and search for WWSB or My Suncoast. Free, provides the most comprehensive news. Also Android, new version, automatically updated for you as well. And don't forget, check out our respective pages on Facebook, Ray Collins or John Scalzi. I posted some things yesterday you might want to check out, and also like the page while you're there. We appreciate your business. 5:25 right now on this Tuesday morning. If you use a Wi-Fi connection, and certainly most of us do, you might not be as safe as you think you are. ABC's Candace Gibson and Diane Macedo have details.
In today's Tech Bite, security experts have discovered a major vulnerability in virtually all Wi-Fi connections.
It could put every device on the planet at risk of being hacked. The good news, though, is that any hacker would need to be physically inside the range of the Wi-Fi signal.
Cash is streaming into Netflix at record levels.
Yeah, the service added more than 5 million subscribers over the summer months. It now has more than 109 million worldwide.
The extra users will help finance Netflix plans to pay as much as $8 billion for content next year. And Samsung has come up with a new way to help you keep track of all that's near and dear to you.
Yeah, so the Samsung Connect Tag is a tiny mobile device that'll beam you the location of your keys, your pets, and even your kids. It can be clipped to things like your dog's collar or your child's backpack, and it works with GPS and Wi-Fi.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Tresiba.
My day starts well before I'm in the kitchen. I need my blood sugar to stay in control.
I need to shave my A1C.
I'm always on call. An insulin that fits my schedule is key.
Tresiba ready.
Tresiba is used to control high blood sugar in adults with diabetes. Don't use Tresiba to treat diabetic ketoacidosis during episodes of low blood sugar or if you are allergic to any of its ingredients. Don't share needles or insulin pens. Don't reuse needles. The most common side effect is low blood sugar, which may cause dizziness, sweating, confusion, and headache. Check your blood sugar. Low blood sugar can be serious and may be life-threatening. Injection site reactions may occur. Tell your prescriber about all medicines you take and all your medical conditions. Taking TZDs with insulins like Tresiba may cause serious side effects like heart failure. Your insulin dose shouldn't be changed without asking your prescriber. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing, fast heartbeat, extreme drowsiness, swelling of your face, tongue, or throat, dizziness, or confusion. Ask your healthcare provider if you're Tresiba ready. Covered by most insurance and Medicare plans.
Tresiba ready.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Here's something we bet you didn't know.
nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. ABC7 News at 7, weeknights.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, 41 people have now been killed in those California wildfires. The latest fatality is a firefighter. A state of emergency in advance of a speech on the campus at the University of Florida later on this week. We'll have both sides of that one. And more security coming to your driver's license in Florida. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC7 studios. This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, early risers, up to Tuesday, October the 17th, 2017. Glad you're with us. I'm Ray Collins. John Scalzi is with us. And John, I'm a little concerned about your voice.
Oh.
What's going on over there?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see in the next couple of days what's going on with that.
Yes, we will.
Hopefully nothing, hopefully nothing. I can tell you that I have a little cloud in my throat, maybe not fog in my throat, but at least it does sound a little bit on the rough side, I know. I apologize about that. Yeah, I apologize about that. A little bit of cloud cover to the north of us, that cloud cover gradually sinking southward. I think we'll have a fairly cloudy day today. You know what, we may see some rain showers as well. They're already in progress, actually. This is a stalled frontal boundary, and the stalled frontal boundary is going to give us about a 30% chance of showers today. We'll have the complete weather forecast for you coming up in just a few, Ray.
All right, talk to you soon, John. Checking first alert traffic now. You'll see some issues there at State Road 70 heading toward 301, also east of 75 on the eastbound lanes of State Road 70. Farther south now into Sarasota County, we'll see some issues developing on Bee Ridge eastbound around McIntosh, Beneva, also Clark Road by Tuttle. And South County mostly clear at 5:33 now on your Tuesday morning. Our top story, President Trump says former presidents did not contact the families of American troops killed in the line of duty. And that comment is causing a strong reaction this morning. ABC's Serena Marshall has the latest.
It was a bold-faced comment about his predecessors and fallen troops.
If you look at President Obama and other presidents, most of them didn't make calls.
President Trump responding to a question about why he had yet to say anything publicly on the 4 Special Operations Service members killed in Niger 2 weeks ago, 2 of them arriving home overnight.
I've written them personal letters. They've been sent or they're going out tonight.
But then he turned his response on soldiers who paid the ultimate sacrifice to former presidents. He was even asked to clarify.
How can you make that clear? I was told that he didn't often, and a lot of presidents don't. They write letters.
Former Obama administration officials firing back, calling President Trump a liar. The Democratic National Committee said the jaw-dropping lie shows he has no problem using the troops as a political tool. It's something the president has been accused of doing before, and it comes the same day the man he said during the campaign was not a war hero was being honored. John McCain slamming the president's nationalistic agenda.
Our duty to remain the last best hope of Earth for the sake of some half-baked, spurious nationalism cooked up by people who would rather find scapegoats than solve problems.
President George W. Bush and President Clinton's office tell us those statements by President Trump are simply untrue. They not only made phone calls and wrote letters, but often met with the families of fallen soldiers. President George H.W. Bush and President Jimmy Carter's office have yet to respond to requests for comment. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
It has been a month since Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico, and many there are still without access to clean food or water. President Trump says the military has delivered plenty of relief supplies to the island, but he says the problem is that Puerto Rican officials are not passing them out to victims.
We've delivered tremendous amounts of water. Then what you have to do is you have to have distribution of the water by the people on the island. So we have massive amounts of water. We have massive amounts of food. But they have to distribute the food, and they have to do this. They have to distribute the food to the people of the island.
Most of Puerto Rico is still without power, and most don't have a cell phone signal. The president pointed out the island had a poor electrical grid before it was hit by back-to-back hurricanes. It is now just over a week since the start of those deadly wildfires in Northern California, and with thousands of firefighters on the ground, firefighters say they are now making some progress. Karen Kafa has the latest.
There are 11,000 firefighters on the ground in California right now, battling more than a dozen deadly wildfires.
You're going to continue to see CAL FIRE presence, fire crew presence for a while. They're not going to depart today. They're not going to depart tomorrow. We've got a long road ahead of us.
Fires that have burned more than 200,000 acres, destroying thousands of homes and businesses statewide.
We still have extremely dry conditions out there, very low humidities. There still is the chance that we could have some small fires come out of the fire.
Tens of thousands are still under mandatory evacuation orders. Meanwhile, officials in both California and Washington say they are making progress.
You're seeing those containment levels coming up. Things feel good in our gut as firefighters.
We have a lot of people helping government in California and made a lot of progress in the last couple of days.
Also in Washington, the Senate is expected to vote this week on a nearly $36.5 billion emergency funding bill that would provide much needed money for the states hard hit recently by both hurricanes and wildfires. In Santa Rosa, California, I'm Karen Kafa.
Some Suncoast residents vacationing in California got a first-hand look at the devastation the wildfires are causing. Michael Charay and his twin brother Richard were among a group renting a home in Napa Valley. ABC caught up with the brothers who described being evacuated from that home just moments before the fire came through the neighborhood.
We were all piling in the car and driving, and I could just see this devastation around all of us. The smoke, I mean, it looked like it was, I keep saying it looked like it was snowing black ash. I mean, it was just, I remember sitting in the back of that SUV thinking, this looks like a living nightmare. Like, I don't think we grasped that we escaped death, really. And it happened so quickly.
Luckily, no one from their group was injured. The brothers also tell us the home they were renting was one of the few that is still standing. Other news now, Governor Rick Scott issued a state of emergency ahead of a scheduled speaking event at the University of Florida this week. White nationalist Richard Spencer is set to speak on campus Thursday, and protests are already underway. Dozens of protesters held a demonstration on campus Monday to denounce the decision to allow Spencer to speak. They are calling on school officials to reverse the decision. The group is asking for water bottles and backpacks to be allowed during the protests.
Request that you significantly restrict the prohibited items list to only include items that provide a clear danger to members of the community.
So far, the university has not changed the prohibited items list. The organizers of the No Nazis on Campus group says while he isn't calling for violence, he'll support protesters if they need to fight back in self-defense. Florida drivers will now have more options on where they can pick up a new, more secure driver's license or ID card. Through December, more than 200 service centers will be added to the list of offices in Florida that currently offer the new cards. The new design includes nearly double the fraud protection measures that the previous one has. It also provides the most secure over-the-counter credentials on the market today. The new design also incorporates designations for lifetime sportsmen's, boater, freshwater, saltwater, and hunting licenses. Governor Scott wants funds to beef up security at Jewish day schools around the state. The governor visited a school in Boca Raton to announce his proposal for $1 million in security funding for Jewish day schools. The funding would provide security and counterterrorism upgrades like video cameras, fences, bulletproof glass and alarm systems, and other safety equipment. The governor says the security is needed after the Florida Jewish community received threats last year. After a spike during and after Hurricane Harvey and Irma, gas prices are finally coming back down. This week, AAA reports gas prices have fallen by 7 cents, with prices dropping by 25 cents since last month. As for production and distribution of gas, experts say things are returning to normal at ports and refineries.
This has impacted the entire Southeast. And then, what impacts Florida and the Southeast does have ripple effects throughout the nation.
Florida's most expensive gas right now is in Miami and West Palm Beach, while the cheapest fuel in the state is in Tampa Bay and the Orlando areas. Their fallout from Irma, which seems like so long ago, but boy, it was all hands on deck during that weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
Slept at the station.
I still have a lot of debris that has to be removed.
Still?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot around on Siesta Key last weekend.
In fact, I think my pickup date is December 4th.
Oh, come on, really?
Yeah.
December 4th?
December 4th, yeah.
Wow.
What are you going to do? Got some showers and thunderstorms across the region, perhaps in our area later today. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
Also, first alert traffic, and a father wants to donate one of his kidneys for his sick son, but something he did will block his chance. We'll explain in Health Smart.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms, and if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars. Call Tax 10,000 at 800-817-1064.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Attention blood thinner users. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If your loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business. Game on, Suncoast. Get scores and highlights from the area's top high school matchups on Football Friday night, just after the news at 11:15. Sponsored by your local Honda dealers. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we are looking at a little bit of cloud cover across the region, and that has helped to hold up our nighttime temperatures just a bit. Right now we are looking at an air temperature coming in at a very toasty 75 degrees. And the dew point value, which is the amount of moisture that's in the atmosphere, coming in warm as well at about 73. This is about exactly where we were 24 hours ago. But I think the thing to note is the fact that the wind speeds will be picking up today. Right now they're at 6 miles per hour, but we can double that, I think, by this time tomorrow morning, maybe even more. And those enhanced wind speeds are going to be picking up Atlantic moisture and slinging it back in this direction over the course of the week ahead. 74 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Myakka coming in at 75, Parrish and Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch the same. Northport at 75, 76 degrees in Inglewood and Venice, and 77 degrees at Longboat Key. So the frontal boundary that we have been talking about for several days now is finally sinking southward and stalling out, losing speed, decelerating, just putting on the brakes, basically right over us, right over Tampa Bay. And we're seeing some pretty good thunderstorm activity around Tampa itself, and also in Pinellas County we've seen quite a bit this morning. Haven't seen a whole lot in our area yet, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised if some of the outflow from some of these storms works its way southward. If the front itself creeps another 50 miles south, we'll be seeing a little bit more rain shower activity, I think, as we head into the late morning, early afternoon. Rain chance at about 30% or so. It's not going to be a big rain out for us today, but we'll certainly have that chance of seeing a few scattered showers. The frontal boundary itself extends all through Gulf waters and on up into the northeast. Behind it, a big ridge of high pressure. An expansive area of high pressure will provide us with some lower humidity air as this front washes out, stalls out first, and then washes out, and that high pressure ridge begins to build in back behind it. So for a couple of days, we have a sun-cloud mix. We have a few showers around for today and tomorrow. And then we'll watch that humidity value start to decrease. You'll notice it especially in the nighttime low temperatures when you wake up and head out the door in the morning. Watch what happens. The humid air that's kind of focused right in on that cold front begins to be pushed out of the way as that drier air moves in. And by the time we get into Thursday and Friday, our rain chance is gone. Thursday and Friday should be basically dry days. So here's your forecast. Expect to see a surge of winds today, coming in the evening, particularly through the nighttime hours. Northeast at about 20 knots, so significant winds. A moderate chop on bay and inland waters. And the forecast calls for rain for a couple of days, then drying out. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic in Manatee County. A little blip there on the screen at State Road 70. Westbound at 301. Otherwise, pretty clear right now in Manatee County. Farther south, we'll see a little issue there at Bee Ridge and 41, particularly in the southbound lane. Otherwise, pretty clear in that section of the county. Farther south, all clear at 548 on this Tuesday morning. Doing so well. In this hour's Health Smart, the father of a 2-year-old boy who needs a kidney is a perfect match and wants to give it to his son, but the hospital says it won't do the operation until the father can prove he can stay out of jail. And he can't do it. Karen Greer has the story.
2-year-old AJ Burgess looks like your normal toddler, but at 25 pounds, he can't walk. He's fed intravenously, and he's hooked up to dialysis every day of his life.
So these are my lifelines.
AJ was born without a working kidney a month early and spent 10 months in the neonatal intensive care unit at Scottish Rite. These beads marking milestones of his short life.
Just today he left the hospital, so they gave him this. They said no matter what you do, just keep flying.
His dad, Anthony Dickerson, was tested and proved to be the perfect match to give his only son a kidney. Problem was, Anthony was in prison for violating his probation on weapons charges.
He made it his business to say, okay, once I get out, I'm going to promise that to my son that he can get a kidney.
Dickerson got out of prison and was set to go through the pre-op procedures and donate his kidney to his son October 3rd. But he went back to jail for violating his parole again. Possession of a firearm or knife during the commission or attempt to commit certain felonies. When he got out, everything changed.
The lady was like, we need your parole information and your probation information. And he was like, what does that have to do with anything? And she was like, well, we need you to be on good behavior for 3 to 4 months before you can give your son a kidney. And in January 2018, we'll think about reevaluating you, basically.
January of 2018 may be too late. AJ's body's starting to fail. He needs bladder surgery, and his lifelines are falling out. Carmela's hoping a petition she set up online will bring awareness to his plight and help save little AJ's life.
He's been through so much for a 2-year-old.
What a story. Up next, we'll update the day's top local news headlines here on the Suncoast. And these football fans are highlighting the team's struggles just in time for Halloween. We'll explain after this.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now, 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
Attention travelers. Next Tuesday, a major hurricane will cause complete chaos throughout the city. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back. 5:54 now. Checking the headlines on the Suncoast as you awaken this morning. The Meadows is taking a closer look at replacing part of their golf courses with homes and parks. It would be the latest setback for golfers on the Suncoast. Manatee County Sheriff deputies are charging this woman, Nicole Liscombe, with holding up a steak and shake on 44th Avenue East. No injuries reported. And work is now underway on a $100 million spring training complex for the Atlanta Braves. The team in the city of Northport broke ground yesterday near River Road. And finally, an Ohio couple's quarterback graveyard getting lots of attention right now. Tony Timoteo said he and his wife came up with the idea when they were thinking of how to decorate their home for Halloween. Tony said he proposed the idea for a graveyard, and his wife thought of the Cleveland Browns quarterback graveyard. They had to add to it again this past weekend after the Browns lost to the Texans with starting quarterback Kevin Hogan. The Browns have the worst record right now in the NFL at 0-6, and plenty of quarterbacks are being blamed for that all along the way, going back to maybe Bernie Kosar back in the 90s. So Cleveland's had some mixed fortunes. Of course, the Cleveland basketball team, the Cavaliers, have done well with LeBron James, but then the Indians had a great season. Then they lost to the wild card Yankees. So being a Cleveland fan is tough these days.
Up and down. I remember when I was growing up living in Cleveland, it was a joke. I mean,
sure,
nobody won anything for a long time.
Yeah,
that's weird. It's a great idea, though.
Yeah,
that'd be fun for the neighborhood.
I'm from Buffalo. I know all about losing teams. All too well. We'll have more of John's changing forecast, local traffic, and Stephanie Roberts joins us after this.